So I'm working with a former collegiate athlete track athlete, who typically ran 3Ks to 5Ks. And now they transitioning to the marathon for a few years. This athlete is very motivated, but tends to overtrain, does the workouts too fast. When they enter a half marathon, they're going out way too fast, and their pace significantly drops in the last 10 miles or so, and or they just don't even finish the race. So we've had discussions about the purpose of the workouts and why he would need to slow down. I guess he's just not buying into it. So how do you tend to work with these types of athletes?
Yeah, that's definitely a problem other than a physiological one. It's an emotional one. Somebody trying to run faster than their body needs to run to benefit. And my first answer always is, if there's more than one choice of intensities to train at to produce a certain benefit, always select the slower one. Never select the higher one. And with these kind of people, when they go into races, as you already mentioned, the tendency is to go out too fast and have to slow down toward the end. I'll tell you one really good way to judge how you're pacing a race is to go out extra slow and see how many people you can pass in the race. Count them. I used to do that with my cross-country team. I'd say, okay, go out slow and comfortable, and whoever passes the most people in the race gets a prize this week. And obviously, the slower you start, the more people you're going to pass. But typical cross-country races, and this even applies to half marathons and marathons, unfortunately, the typical cross-country race in high school and even in college in this country, the best runner in the field, let's say you got 200 runners, and the best runner will go out too fast and die because he went out too fast, but he still wins because everybody else went with him and died worse. It's that simple. You can't understand. I took my college women's cross-country team one year to nationals, and I thought we had a pretty good chance of placing well. And I measured the first 800 meters of the course off, and I had them run that 800 at a pace I thought they should run at for the course. And I said, I want you to run that same pace at the start of the race. When the race started, my 7 runners were the last 7 in the field of 186. The last 7 at the first 800. By the mile mark, one of them had the lead, and she won by over 20 seconds. And they won the national championship easily. You've just got to get in the habit of running comfortably early in races, and especially marathons. You know, the human body has about enough energy stored in carbohydrate type storage, glycogen, to run about 17 miles. And that's it. To run farther than 17 miles, you're either going to have to use some fat during the race, not just glycogen, or you're going to have to take in some energy during the race, one or the other. And the easiest thing is not to run so fast that you burn it all up in the first 17 miles.
That's great. So it sounds.
And one other point about this, something you might mention to all your runners is, it's really good to have a goal for every race you run. Have a goal, and make those goals that are pretty easy to achieve, rather than hard to achieve. Because the more goals you achieve, or the more positive you're going to be about things. For instance, one goal, maybe your goal in this week's race is to try a different warm-up that you've never tried before. Maybe that's your goal. And you try the new warm-up, and maybe you run a good race or you don't run a good race, but you achieved the goal. You tried a new warm-up. Or maybe this race we're going to try going out slower and see how many people I can pass. And if you try it and it doesn't work, that's it. If it does work, you achieve your goal. You got to be positive about the thing. Have optimistic goals, things that you can achieve.